Then some archaeologists came to the church as they were looking for evidence of old life, and they just opened his tomb, opened his coffin. It was well sealed, so the clothes were still quite well preserved. They noticed he has very unusual shoes. They haven't seen this kind before, but they didn't take a picture or make a drawing. They basically chopped off one of his feet and took it with them. They thought, what's the worst thing that can happen? He's not going to use it anymore. And they closed it, but a few days later, the priests noticed there is a strange presence in the church. There is this, it looks like a monk, but nobody knows him. When they talk to him, he just disappears. And they realize, well, of course, it must be the angry one who lost his foot. So they emailed archaeologists. They sent a handwritten letter to the archaeologists demanding the foot to be returned. And they said, we're really sorry that this has happened. We give you back the shoe, but we don't have the foot anymore. So what they could do, they buried the shoe hoping it will help, it will satisfy the ghost, but it didn't. He was still seen every now and then, sometimes in the church. They couldn't do anything, they just prayed for a piece of his soul and hoped he will not scare the people off. But of course in 20th century, less and less people started coming to the church. And then in the 1980s, they installed security alarm here. They put motion sensors by the doors, by the windows, and also by the tomb of the monk. It was all set up. A few days later, the alarm went off. Security came, checked, nobody's inside, everything is locked, false alarm. And a few days later again and again, it was always a false alarm. So they checked the records and they saw that this is always triggered by the motion sensor next to the tomb. But of course in 20th century they don't want to believe in ghosts, they want to find logical explanation. So they said it must be a faulty sensor. We will swap it with another one that works well and you will see it will be quiet. So they swapped it and again the alarm went off, again activated by the one next to the tomb. So they realized there is no way they can fight or reason with the ghost. What they did, they removed this one sensor altogether and then it was quiet. So it looks like the ghost was still there, it just didn't like modern technology to close to his resting place.